close was last night to that?
Yeah, probably as close as you can get this time of year. Other teams have their pushes too, and they're great teams as well. So sometimes you got to weather the storm a little bit, and thought we did a really good job for 60 minutes. Didn't give up overly much in the third, and just all around really good game by us.
This core group has been through a lot of playoff disappointment. I guess, how does that make you stronger? And now you guys seem to be really business-like in this approach about, hey, we were a good team, we know we're a good team, just kind of moving forward. How did it help you grow?
It's just lessons that you learn along the way, right? Momentum shifts. It's all the little details in the playoffs that are such cliches and everyone talks about. In every media session you hear different guys, coaches talk about it, but it's just the truth. You learn along the way, and you try to handle them better each time, and we've done a really good job of that, especially lately. But the whole playoff run, I thought we've done a great job so far. So obviously, just looking to continue that.
What was the key to keeping that belief in this group when no one else, like when things got off to a bad start, everyone had written you off, people were jumping off the bandwagon, you guys still had that belief? What was the key to that?
Well, I think just the past a little bit.
Yeah.
We went to the conference finals 2 years ago. Lost to the Stanley Cup Finals in 6 games. The Stanley Cup champion in 6 games last year. Probably a series that could have went either way, where they were just a little better at the end. Off to a bad start, but I think deep down we all knew how good we can be once we find our confidence and once we get going, and obviously ended up finding it.
That said, it's hard to dig out of holes in this league, especially where you guys were down 2-1 down 3-2 last series, down 2-1 this series. Like what allows this group to push back?
I think our mindset. I think just again the belief we have in each other, the belief we have in our group that when we get to our game and the more often and the longer we get to it, it's really dangerous and it's really, really good. That being said, that's a lot of teams that have that game, right? I just think the trust and the belief in each other is really high.
Leon, is it safe to say that Ryan Hopkins was your coach's favorite player from last night?
Yeah, he probably was. Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to ask Knobber, but I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was his first choice. Yeah.
Leon, as his teammate, I mean, he's been here for 13 years, and I know you were asked that same question about the league years yesterday. But for him to kind of execute and give your guys' team a night like that at a stage like that, what does that say about the character of that guy?
I mean, he's all character. He's had so many tough years here, and he's had so many disappointments, and you never hear him complain, you never hear him wanting to get out, you never hear him wanting to leave. He's just a great guy and a fantastic hockey player and just a great teammate to have. So touches every part of the game at all times, and probably one of the most underappreciated players in the game.
Question for you about going back home tomorrow in Game 6. Does the city feel different? Does the energy feel different?
I mean, the energy is always high in the playoffs in Edmonton, that's for sure. I think tomorrow there's probably going to be a different buzz around it, but we're going to enjoy that part. But we obviously have a goal tomorrow night, and that's just play our best game. And we know they're going to bring their best game, so we got to make sure we're ready to go.
How hard is it to do that, Leo? Like to kind of stay in the moment and not get caught up in the energy and the excitement and the fact that you're one win away from the Stanley Cup final?
I think you try to enjoy it a little bit too, but at the end of the day, once you jump on the ice for warm-ups, I think your natural instincts are just do your job and get dialed in and stick to what you've done for the last God knows how many years, and it all kind of just goes away, and you try and play your best hockey.
You guys thought you go through on the power play yesterday with 2 goals. What do you think kind of clicked for you yesterday?
Just simplified a little bit, made some nice plays and bared down on our chances. We had to step up at some point here, and last night was obviously a good step for us as a power play.
What stands out to you about what the Sharks doing in this playoffs?
He's just good. I mean, he's so calm. He makes the right play seemingly every time with the puck on his stick, and he defends well too. He really does. He's not much in his own zone because he has the puck all night, it seems like, right? So, he's just elevated his game to another level, and just no stress in his game.
Stuart Skinner was asked about kind of keeping his mind where it needs to be, and he said he's looking forward to playing Mario Kart on the plane ride home. I don't know if you indulge in that, but...
Yeah, I can't stand that they play Mario Kart. We butt heads on that all the time, but it's going to be a long flight, so I better...
How do you spend the flights? What do you do?
I don't know. Get it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Honestly, I just try to bug those guys a little bit and throw some comments in there every once in a while. So, yeah, but we'll see.
Actually, we probably know your pick for the Champions League final today. Yeah.
Do you?
Do you have one? Well, do you have?
No. I don't know. I guess I'll cheer for the German team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
For you guys, you've taken it one step at a time. This is a big opportunity. Everyone's excited, and you guys worked really hard to get here.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity. Obviously, we've set ourselves up well to have a chance to win this series at home. It was a good learning lesson, I think, in the previous series, how important Game 5 is. But, I mean, every team plays their best with their backs against the wall, and obviously Dallas is a great team, and it's going to be a big test for us.
How important is it to try and put them away in Game 6 and not give them any life and have to come back here for Game 7?
I mean, it's extremely important. We know how you can get life pretty quickly. Momentum usually doesn't carry over, so Game 6 is going to be a fresh slate. We're excited. It's in our building. Our fans are going to be loud, and I'm sure it'll be a tough place to play.
So you guys were last in the standings. You were down 2-1 to Vancouver. You're down 2-1 in this series. Can you just talk about what's this roller coaster been like, and what allows you guys to keep pushing back?
I mean, yeah, it's been a heck of a year, obviously. Some very down points. We came to this season, and I think we had extremely high expectations, and then we're obviously, hit rock bottom. Had a coaching change, went through things that going into the year, if you told us, we wouldn't have probably believed you. But I think our group has a strong belief in each other, and we've always been our best when we face adversity. And I think any team that goes on and has a run usually faces some type of adversity, and we faced ours early, and then I think we were comfortable in those situations, and obviously faced it in the Vancouver series, faced it here, faced it throughout the whole year. So we were better for it.
Pete DeBoer last night raised your guys' road game, and what were you guys able to do against them, especially in the first two periods, and how much you needed to kind of carbon copy that coming in against them?
I think we're just worried about our game. To be honest, I think we're just focused on playing with pace, playing fast, and playing together. I think when we're playing connected and we're playing our best, we're a really tough team. I think we just did that for the last part of Game 4 and then carried it into Game 5.
Zach, you guys got 2 power play goals last night, the first 2 of the series. What do you think finally clicked for you guys to be able to convert?
I think we've been building momentum and building confidence on the power play. It's tough when you're only getting a couple every game. You got to make the most of it. And obviously, last game we did. But I like the way we were moving it. I like the looks that we've been getting. It just hadn't gone in yet, and it was nice to get those 2.
This is ultimately about the players, but that said, and we're not in the room, Kris appears, at least to us, to be very steady at the helm. Does that help when maybe things aren't going well and you find people fall behind in a series and there's not a blustery over, that's what it
Mhm.
is to us.
Yeah, no, I think I said I've often found a team reflects its coach's demeanor, and Chris is always even keeled no matter what's happening, whether we're up or down in the game, up or down in a series. You know exactly how he responds, and I think that calming presence helped us early on when things were shaky and the season wasn't going well for us. He came in and just provided a calming presence and helped guys find their confidence.
What's it like watching this penalty kill? It feels,
Mm.
like, is it almost like a pitcher who's on a no-hitter for big games, leave him alone, don't say anything?
They've been unbelievable, obviously. It's fun to watch. We have a ton of confidence that they're not only going to kill the penalty, but they're going to create some momentum for us. So I've been a huge part of why we're here.
What stands out to you about what Bouchard is doing in this playoff?
Everything. He's been pretty special, obviously. I think he's elevated his game, and that's saying a lot considering how well he played in the regular season. Anytime he's on the ice, it feels like we have the puck. And he's a guy, if you find him, he's going to make a play, and you're excited because as a forward, when he has the puck, good things happen. So, and then obviously on the power play, he just quarterbacks everything up there and has an elite shot, makes the right play all the time. So just fun to be a part of.
Regardless of the road you guys took to get here, like at the beginning of the season, you guys expected to be here, like yourselves.
Mhm.
You felt that you'd be here, and it seems like you guys have been very businessmen in this approach, I guess. Everyone's excited about where you guys are, but you guys feel like you had the team to get here, and you guys haven't surprised yourselves. Well, maybe other people have been surprised by it.
Yeah, I think we're a confident group, like we have been. Even when we started the season poorly, we're still a confident group. Like we still believed in our team and believed in our goal. So there's nothing to be excited about right now. We still have work to do, and I think that's the mentality. That's the mentality going into the year. It's the mentality now. Nothing's changed.
Seems like it's been a collective effort the last 5 periods defensively. Do you expect more from them next game, or how do you prevent them from getting on?
Just keep playing the way we're playing. I think last game was probably our most complete game of the year. Everybody playing a part, everybody doing their job, everybody playing well. If we do that, we're a hard team to beat.
What do you think it's going to be like tomorrow in a weekend crowd in Edmonton? Pretty well lubricated crowd, I'm going to guess, on a weekend. And how do you use that energy to your advantage and not a disadvantage?
It's a huge advantage. I think our building's hard to play in, especially. I don't know how many. When the last time there was a Game 6 in Edmonton for a chance to go to the finals. So it's a huge opportunity. I think the fans recognize that. I think they're excited about it. As a fan, you can't be more excited than a chance to win on home ice, to watch your team play, and I'm sure they're going to be going crazy. So it's exciting for us too.
Folks in Edmonton are pumped. Do you feel your friends and family watching Toronto? Like, what's the feedback from them? How pumped you're on that? See what you're doing?
Yeah, very excited. I think as a player, you try to temper the excitement a little bit. You try to stay even keel. It's a roller coaster. As a family member, you're probably riding the wave. You're pretty excited about the opportunity and how far. I mean, this is the furthest I've personally gone, and a lot of us have gotten to. So when you go on this journey, you often, it's not just yourself. You've been on it with your entire family, your support system from the beginning. So they're cheering and pulling.
Zach, just going back to the fans, what country have you been able to see some of the outfits that people have been wearing?
Some of them, they're the best. So it'll be fun to see what some people have show up with for Game 6.
And, everyone's excited about it. But how do you guys kind of try and keep the guys in the moment and know that the job's not done? You have a big task ahead of you in Game 6.
Absolutely, it's going to be very difficult. If we continue to play the way we have in the last about 5 periods, it gives us a good opportunity to win. And as well as we've played in those 5 periods, it still might not be good enough to win a hockey game. So we can only control what we can control, and hopefully that's enough.
It looked like Dallas was marching, those first 8 minutes in Game 4. What's flipped in those 5 periods?
I'm not sure. I think just just things going our way, like confidence, and just playing hockey. I guess when you get down, and especially when you're down too early in a very important game, it's like there's nothing left to. You don't have to worry about making mistakes because it's just playing with urgency to get back in the game, and then you get that confidence and you just play hockey. And you know, there's been a lot of shifts up and down through the series, and we're going to do our best to try and minimize the shifts. And things have been going well for us right now, and we're going to try our best to play like we did in the last 5 periods.
You're 6-3 on the road in these playoffs. What does it say about the team that you guys have played so well right from home, especially in the postseason, crowds are rowdy, all that?
I don't know. Sometimes, and I'm sure a lot of teams would say the same, it's often easier to play on the road just because you don't have to worry about line matchups and you just go out and play. It's easier for the players. You know, and the coach isn't jerking you around and putting you on the ice and pulling you back off because the coach wants to get a certain line matchup. Sometimes it's just easier being on the road where you just play. You just roll your lines, and it's a lot easier for the players and for the coach just not to have to worry about that part of the game.
When you took over this team was at rock bottom. And I know you talked about you talked to the guys and said it's 7 to 10. Like it's achievable to get out of that hole. But what did you see in them that they were still a confident group? They just feel it got off to a bad start. We can be like they expected to be here. I guess is my point. What did you see in that group when you first?
Yeah, I saw a team that was very hard on themselves. A team that was very frustrated. Things hadn't been going their way, and a team that was trying probably too hard. And that sounds ironic that you could try too hard, but you just get so caught up and you're not thinking straight and you're just trying to do too much. And when you're trying to do too much or sort of trying to do everything, ultimately you're doing other people's jobs and then you're not doing your job as well, and it just everything's disconnected. And I think we settled things down when we were on that road trip in Carolina, between the Carolina game and Washington, where we talked about just we don't have to be great every night. We don't have to be great for the next 8 games. We just actually had to be good. And if we had won 5 of 3 at the time through the regular season, we would be putting ourselves in a good position to just get into playoffs. And I think the guys looked back at that and said, that's very attainable. We don't have to win a bunch of games and be perfect. And then they just started playing hockey, and I think that was a big part of our season.
Chris, you just talked about that Carolina and Washington road trip. I remember on that Thursday at practice in Washington, you stopped practice because Ryan McLeod was a touch offside when you guys were just doing casual drills, but you really wanted to hone in on the fine details and taking care of the fine details. How do you feel like your group responded to that throughout the course of the season?
I think this team has just continue to want to get better, wanted to win. And I think the goal before I got here was the expectation of pushing to win it all. And, I think the best players want to be coached and want to be corrected. And, my time here, that belief has never been changed. They want to get better, and they've been very open to any criticism, any corrections that I've provided. So for my job, it's been pretty easy having a bunch of players as coachable as they have been, and it's been it's been pretty much a dream job.
You mentioned that playing easier on the road. Can you coach a road game at home?
We'll try our best. I think just the fact that I don't think either team's really caught up in line matchups very much, and we've been comfortable with our 4th line playing against our 1st line and our 3rd pair even against anybody. And so I don't think it's necessary that we have those line matchups, and we'll just try and hit the guys playing as freely as possible with the attention to all those details.
Talk about the roller coaster the team's been on. What's the ride like been for you?
I've enjoyed it. Obviously there's some sleepless nights thinking about the next game and what needs to be done, and the excitement of post victory and the worry about your next game. But you know, I've had a great support staff that has helped me. I think the players have been very receptive, which makes my job a lot easier. And you know, the support from my family has been great. So I've enjoyed it. It's been. I'm sure when I step back, when this is all done, it'll be a lot more easier to look back at. But yeah, it's been great so far.
You're where you are in the moment and you're dialed in. What can you appreciate, I guess, about the ride and the excitement that you're going to be walking into tomorrow?
I think very similar to my first game, going onto the bench in Edmonton and walking through that tunnel and hitting the, you know, just before the ice and getting on behind the bench and just the excitement in the crowd and you know, that was a pretty special moment for me. I would think pretty much every playoff game in Edmonton has been very similar, where I've, you know, looked back and thought, well, this is incredible to be in this position. So I've been enjoying it, and hopefully I can enjoy it for a few more games.
You're one win away from the Stanley Cup final. The experience that this team has with that, does that give you confidence that they're not going to pass?
You know, I think we're confident in how we need to play and not getting too far ahead of ourselves. That being said, we are playing a very good team that's going to have a lot to say with how that game's being played, and they'll be making corrections. They'll be fired up that we're going to have to be prepared for. But for our team playing the way we need to play, I have a lot of confidence in our team doing that.